Welcome. Today's practice is going to honor the concept of Shunyata, emptiness. Let's start with finding yourself in a comfortable seated position of your own choice. Your spine is straight. Roll back slightly on your pelvis to lengthen through the crown. And let your shoulders come back and down. Scan your body from your head all the way down to your toes. Listen, tune in. Where is there tension? Where can you soften? Your gaze can be soft or your eyes can be closed. Let's bring our awareness to our breath. Shunyata, emptiness, the voidness, not as a negation of existence, but rather think of it out of which all can arise. So imagine a vessel, and the vessel holds water, and if you tip the vessel slightly, you can let the water drain out into the earth. But left behind is the space, the air. It's a waiting place for all that can come. And today's practice, as always, will honor our bodies. And we'll start by inviting 3 sounds of the bell. And we'll introduce Shunya Mudra, known as Heaven Mudra. And it might be a little tricky for your hands. So if so, I'll give an alternate as well. You're going to bring your middle finger down and try to have it touch the center of your palms. And then wrap your thumb around the top of wherever you can grasp of the knuckles of your middle finger to hold that middle finger down. And you can turn Shunya Mudra so that your elbows start to come in by your waist. And relax your shoulders. Or you can let this rest on the tops of your legs. And if it's difficult to be able to hold your fingers in this position, you can also release it and just touch the center of the palm. The center of the palm in Chinese medicine is a spot that calms the mind and clears our thoughts. But if you wish, give this mudra a try. Your other fingers will just splay out as they wish. And bring your awareness now to your heart center, Anahata. Picture the color emerald green radiating. And as you breathe in, fill. And as you exhale, empty. And I'll share with you a brief story about why this mudra is known as Heaven Mudra. The tale goes that the practitioner of this mudra was able to hear anahata sounds, the sounds of the heart. In Sanskrit, anahata means sound produced without touching two parts. At the same time, it means pure or pristine. And our heart chakra signifies a state of freshness that appears when we can experience life from a state of openness, spaciousness, expansion. Notice how you feel. Beautiful emerald green emanating from your heart center. And when you're ready, release the mudra and just gently wiggle your fingers. Our affirmation today is, I empty to expand space for the truth of me. I empty to expand space for the truth of me. I empty to expand space for the truth of me. And let's sweep our arms up and fill, and then empty, and bring your arms down by your sides. You may wish to switch the cross of your legs depending on how you're seated. And each chakra has a bija sound, a bij seed sound. And so today we'll enjoy yam, which is the bij sound for the heart. Yam cultivates love and compassion. And that's what we wish to bring into ourselves. Inhale and exhale. And the next time you inhale and fill, on the exhale, we'll repeat the sound yam together. Inhaling. Yam. And again, inhaling. Yam. And once more, feeling the vibration travel through the vagus nerve. Inhaling. Yam. Very nice. And next we're going to open our legs to a butterfly position, Baddha Konasana. And if you had something that you were seated on, you can move that over to the side, because we're going to do this Baddha Konasana in motion. And I'll show you the different parts, but we'll start with our feet together and our knees are open wide, and then roll back a tiny bit on your pelvis so that you're not leaning too forward or too far back. You want a nice straight spine. And relax your shoulders down and just gently butterfly your knees just ever so slightly and start to wake them up. So from seated bound angle, the first part is we're going to sweep up with our inhale, filling, and then exhaling and folding forward. Feeling yourself empty, hands reach the ground. And then we'll raise our arms up, feeling again. And we'll just do that first part, folding forward. And this time with our inhale, let's bring our hands behind us and our feet come flat. And we'll exhale and empty into reverse table. Your sits bone comes back to the ground, feet together, inhaling up, exhaling forward. And let's try to put this all together. So inhale, arms come behind, feet flatten, press up. Open your heart center. Sits bone comes down, feet together, inhale. See if you can let your breath move your body. Hands touch the earth. Inhaling, hands behind, reaching the ground. Feet are flat and raise up. Strengthening through the arms. Inhaling, sweeping up, folding forward. Inhaling, arms opening, coming back, feet to the ground, lifting up, and coming back to the earth. Very nice. And from this position, let's just open our spine with a gentle twist. So we'll raise our right hand up and open behind ourselves. Shoulder is open and gazes to the right. Bring your left hand to your right knee. Gentle spinal twist. Notice where you're gripping and see if you can release the tension. And now bring your right arm over to the left side. So now we have a cross of our arms. And our left arm can come out and reach up and come around behind. Now twisting to the left. And be gentle with your neck and your spine. Heart center is open. Very nice. And now let's come to child's pose. You might wish to place something beneath your knees or even behind your knees. If you wish, your knees can open and your big toes are going to touch together. And we'll slide our arms forward. Our hands are reaching until our forehead comes to the earth. Deep inhale, spaciousness, exhale and empty. And if this is too intense, you can bring your knees together. You can also tuck something in between the hamstring and the calf muscle. Notice the sensations in your body. And in your child's pose, I'm going to introduce a small reading from 365 Tao Daily Meditations. This is on emptiness. Dust cannot gather if there is no mirror there. Some people have compared a pure soul to the unsullied brightness of a perfect mirror. Others have retorted that if there is no mirror there in the first place, there cannot be anything sullied. The soul is empty. We should not think of our souls as discrete and separate from the rest of creation. We are indeed one with everything, so there is no need to think of our souls as isolated entities. Thus, it is the concept of soul as separate being that is empty. It is impossible to live in this world and not be sullied by it. The red dust will settle on you no matter how often you clean. It is good to strive for purity, but if you conceive as purity as a fight against the filth and dust of the world, you doom yourself to obsession and futility. The only way to achieve actual purity is to realize your essential oneness with all things. If you are one with everything, then even filth is pure. For this to happen, you must transcend all distinctions in yourself, resolve all contradictions. With this erasure, the mirror bright soul and the dust are dissolved in a single purity. And start to slide forward into Sphinx. You can keep the blanket beneath you if you'd like, and focus on that emerald heart center, opening, spaciousness. Our feet are flat on the ground behind us, and you can even tap the tops of your feet if you wish, awakening the lymph. See if you can press up slightly. Your gaze is soft, relaxing the muscles in your jaws and the muscles around your eyes. And start to lower yourself down to the ground, placing your hands by your chest. Your head comes to the earth, and with your inhale, baby cobra just slightly comes up. Exhale and empty. Inhaling, rise, making space, and exhaling, emptying. This next time as you rise up, maybe you wish to bring your arms slightly forward, but keeping your elbows bent and tucked in by your side to a little bit of a higher cobra. Bhujangasana, these are all variations. And lower back down again. And now we're going to lengthen and expand through the lower back. So stretch your arms out in front of you. Forehead is to the floor. And just raise your right arm and your left leg. Feel the gluteus muscles tightening and empty, exhaling to the ground. And now on the left side, inhaling, raising, and exhaling, lowering. And now repeat this motion. Inhaling as you raise, exhaling to the earth, filling and emptying. And if you wish, let your body come to the earth, hands and feet. Whole body is stretched out. And now with your next inhale, raise your head slightly, just a few inches. Your arms and legs, both sets come up. And exhale. Let's do that 4 more times. Inhaling, exhaling. Feeling the strengthening along your lower back. Being careful of the neck so the head is very low to the ground. And if this is too intense, you can just do one leg and arm at a time. One more. And fold. Raise your knees up behind you and reach around for the inside of your right foot with your right hand. And reach around for the inside, or maybe the tops of the feet. That might feel better. And on both feet, reach around for the tops of your feet where your toes are. Really, wherever you can grasp. And if you can't reach them, that's okay too. If you can reach, see if you can rise your forehead and your legs up at the same time into bow pose. Keep your head and your gaze down low to the ground. Press up through the backs of the legs and lower. Release everything and just let your legs windshield wiper to the left and the right, rocking your hips from side to side. Your knees can be bent. Feet come to the ground. And you're going to come up to tabletop to cat-cow. Arms are underneath your shoulders and your palms are open wide. Your knees are under your hips. Press up through your back of your spine. And lower your belly. Look up. Exhale and empty. Pressing up into your cat. Inhale. Let your belly drop, open Anahata, heart center, and exhale, pressing your spine up, emptying everything you don't need, and lowering your belly again. And now come to a straight spine, and we'll do a little balancing. So we're going to press our left leg back until the calf is engaged. And raise your right arm. Stretch your fingertips out in front of your head. And now see if you can raise your left leg just to hip height. Feeling the strength through the back body. And now tuck and pull in your elbow to your knee. And press out. 2 more times, tucking in. Inhaling and exhaling, pressing out. Inhaling spaciousness and exhaling, emptying. Place your right hand down and your left knee down. And now stretch your right leg out straight behind you. Feeling the calf muscle engage. Raise your left hand. This is bird dog. And now raise your right leg just to hip height. One nice long line. Inhale and exhale, press inwards. Inhale, stretching out, expanding, and exhaling, curling in. Once more. And your left arm comes down, your left hand comes down, and your left knee. And now we're going to again press the left leg out straight, but we're going to start to pivot like a little tripod to get into gate pose. So your right foot will slide out slightly. You're balancing now on your right knee. Your right hand is under your body and see if you can raise your left arm up to the sky. You can stay here and enjoy the opening in the left side body, or you can raise your left arm to geep pose over your head. And then if you wish, you can raise your left leg as well. And breathe here for a moment. Exhale. And bring that left foot down and now rise up. So we have warrior arms, but we're on our knee. And now let's do reverse over to the left. And feel the lengthening and expansion in the right side body. And coming back down to the ground into whatever variation you wish. Your half moon kneeling. And if you want to test your balance even more, reach back into dancer. Left hand is finding left foot, inner left foot. And radiate the emerald green light from your heart center. Deep inhale, release, come back down into table, and we'll repeat on the other side. Find your table and press your right foot back this time. And then start to open, balancing on your left knee. Arm raises up to the sky. And feel the shoulder as you potentially open over the right side towards stretching your right arm over your head. And if you wish, raising your right leg now to the sky. Inhale, exhale, empty, and start to come up. Warrior arms. You can push your right leg out slightly and you'll get an even better stretch in the inner thigh. Deep inhale, exhale. In this next inhale, let's reverse. Feeling that luxurious stretch through the left side body. And then letting our left hand come back to the ground. We can try any variation that we enjoyed, or we can do dancer on the right side, reaching for the inner foot. Left hand finds inner left foot, opening through the heart center, anahata. Feeling the expansion, the openness, spaciousness. And now, bringing our legs back down to the ground. And we're going to start to press up into downward facing dog. If you had socks on to keep your feet warm, take them off now so that we can do our standing postures without slipping. And pedal your heels out really slowly. Tune into your body. If this is too intense on your shoulders, you can do this on a wall or on a chair. So don't feel like you have to be in downward facing dog and putting all that pressure on wrists and shoulders. You can get a really yummy stretch pressing on a wall or a chair. And see if you can come to stillness for just a moment. Imagine that vessel that we spoke about at the beginning, and the water just pouring down the back of your spine and down the back of your neck. All that is in the vessel that you don't need is emptying out and creating space. Make your way up to a standing forward fold. Let all that does not honor you now roll off your spine. Your knees are generously bent. And let's press up slightly so that our hands are just dangling in ragdoll. Wu-wei, effortless action here. Let everything roll off your spine. Let your hands move gently just to unleash any tension. Now bring your hands to your feet and pitter-patter on your legs until you come to your knees. Scoop your spine to come up very slowly to standing, holding on to your legs. And in standing posture, we'll find Tadasana. If you wish, you can introduce Shunya Mudra again. So third finger finds the center of the palm, the place of calmness, and thumb wraps around. Shoulders come up and back and down. Feet are hip width. Open your toes wide and let them come to the earth. Pull up through the crown of your head and pull down through the base of your spine. Be here now. Release the mudra. Shake your hands out and just bring your hands one over the other to your heart center. Notice how you feel. Very nice. We're going to brush any energies that might be in our bodies. We're just going to start at the top of our heads and just brush off from our face very gently, and the sides of our necks. Brush off any energies from your shoulders, down your arms, and each finger. If you're an empath, you will carry and collect energies from other people, from other entities. And we're going to just release those now so that we can fill this vessel. Brush your chest and your belly. Brush your upper back and down your rib cage in the back, along your kidney channels, down your hips. Brush down your thighs. You can do one leg at a time or both legs, backs of legs. It's springtime now. Let's brush off the winter. Brush off any habit energies that you wish to let go of, all the way down your feet and your toes. Maybe taking a moment to brush from the top of each toe down. And again, come up very slowly. And we'll do a little mindful movement. So we'll start at wherever the top of your mat space is. And find Tadasana again. And let's step our left foot back so that we're in a crescent lunge. So both feet are pointing forward. Left leg is straight and right knee is bent. And take a moment to get into this lunge posture. And now raise your arms up with your inhale and open to warrior two. Left foot is pointed diagonally, arms are straight. And gaze is soft over the middle finger of the right hand. Inhale, exhale, and with your next inhale, reverse. And now flow down, placing your forearm on your right knee, not your right knee, your right thigh muscle. And raise your left arm alongside your left ear. Deep, nourishing breaths. And then open back up to warrior. Straighten your right leg. Bending in. We'll cartwheel our arms down to frame over our right foot. So now we're in a lower crescent lunge. Place your hands to the ground and pull your right foot back. And lower your knees, flatten your feet, and tuck your elbows in to press yourself to the ground, rising up. Upward facing dog, deep inhale, and tuck your toes under. Exhale and empty back to downward facing dog. Breathe here for a moment. And now step your left foot forward in between your hands and rise up to crescent lunge on the left side. Let your right foot come to the ground and open to warrior two. Now gaze is soft over the third finger of the left hand. Inhale, exhale, and with your next inhale, reverse back. And exhale, left forearm comes over left thigh, and right arm now is straight by your right ear. Breathe here for a moment. And inhaling back up, letting your right leg straighten. Noticing the contraction and the tension, and then the release. And left leg bends, and our arms will cartwheel now over the left side, framing the left foot in a low runner's lunge. Bring the left leg back, you're in plank. Just for a moment, feel the strength in your body, and then let your knees come down, feet flatten, tuck your elbows in and come down to the ground. Rising up with your inhale, spaciousness, opening your heart center, and exhaling, emptying back to downward facing dog. Three deep breaths. And we'll start to walk back up until we find ourselves back once again And Uttanasana, forward fold. And this time, bend your knees as you come up, and you can find your chair. So we'll just do a little strength for the thigh muscles. You're seated back. Wiggle your toes and make sure you can see them. And now folding forward, emptying. And we'll bring our hands to our knees until we rise and scoop up. Very nice. So next we'll do dancer pose. And we'll start by balancing on our left foot. So bring your awareness to your left foot. Roll your shoulders back and down. And start to come up onto your right toes. And bring your right foot to meet your right hand. Open through Anahata Heart Center. And this might be enough balance, or maybe you wish to create your Shunya Mudra with your left hand and to start to tilt forward, creating a beautiful dancer, making sure that your gaze is soft and that you're looking at something, your focal point, your drishti is something that's not moving, including shadows. Those are good to avoid because a shadow might cause you to wobble. See if you can press out and expand a little bit more. Maybe you wobble and fall, that's okay. Try to come back down to the ground gracefully and shake that side out. And now we'll start to balance on our right foot. So bring your awareness to right foot where it meets the ground. And start to bring your left foot up, reaching for the inner arch of the left foot. And if you wish, creating Shunya Mudra with your right hand, you can start to hinge forward into dancer on the right side. Unlock your right knee. Find your drishti. Soften your gaze. And press up just a little bit more. Trusting in your balance. Unleashing the beautiful dancer that is inside of you. And now coming down, if possible, gracefully. And again, shaking that all out. Excellent job. And always feel free to use a wall or a chair if that would help better for balance, as long as the chair can support you. And we're going to come down now into a little ball and start to come down to the ground, placing our feet out in front of us in staff pose Dandasana, lifting up through the spine, sweeping up, and exhaling, reaching towards your toes or your shins or anywhere in between. And enjoy this full body stretch. Your arms down your spine, down the backs of your legs. Forward fold. And now bring your hands to your legs and start to bring yourself down to the ground, but seeing if you can keep your chin tucked and let one vertebrae at a time lower you to the ground. Bring your knees into your chest and wrap your arms around your knees, loving what your body can do for you. Maybe you roll out the lower spine a little bit. Love this body as it is right now. This is your precious vessel. Now raise your legs up to waterfall, and we're going to open our knees wide. You can use your hands on the outsides of your legs like a little tripod, but open the vessel that is you and feel the stretching. You might even wish to bring your hands to the insides of your thighs and to help your legs open even wider. Let yourself feel expansion, spaciousness. And now bring your knees in and find the insides of your feet with your each hand or your big toes, and find your happy baby, the playful, joyous child that is in you. Unleash this child and let yourself roll about. Your heart center is wide open, and the emerald green light is now filling the whole room. In fact, it's spilling out of the windows and doors and outside of the place that you call home. The emerald light is shining down the road and up into the sky and spilling into the waters that run beneath the earth. This beautiful emerald light that is you is expanding past your neighborhood and past your city and your state and your country. And it's wrapping all around this beautiful planet that we call Earth. And now imagine the beautiful emerald light is expanding into the cosmos. And even further. And when you're ready, you can bring your knees back down to your chest and give yourself another little loving hug. And take any last movements that will prepare you for Shavasana. Whatever your body needs. Maybe you put your socks back on and you place a pillow beneath your knees. If you have something like a lavender eye pillow, you can place that over your eyes and a blanket over you. Take a moment and really tuck yourself in and ask, what is my heart's deepest longing? Can I feel at home in this emptiness? in this void that is expansion. And I'll read to you from The Heart of the Buddha's Teaching by Thich Nhat Hanh. And this is about the doors of liberation. And I'll just share the first door. The first door of liberation is emptiness, Shunyata. Emptiness always means empty of something. A cup is empty of water. A bowl is empty of soup. We are empty of a separate, independent self. We cannot be by ourselves alone. We can only interbe with everything else in the cosmos. The practice is to nourish the insight into emptiness all day long. Wherever we go, we touch the nature of emptiness in everything we contact. We look deeply at the table, the blue sky, our friend, the mountain, the river, our anger, our happiness, and we see that these are all empty of a separate self. When we touch these things deeply, we see interbeing and interpenetrating nature of all that is. Emptiness does not mean non-existence. It means interdependent, co-arising, impermanence, and non-self. And I'll also share with you a poem by Rosemary Watola Tromer called Exemplar. It hides in the rafters, this tightly woven nest of grass, brown and humble, lined with mold, lined with mud. I would like to hold this messy vessel in my hands, as if to hold is understand. I would like to know what the nest knows, how to hold what is fragile, how to keep life safe, how it is to be made to be useful, how it is to be made to be left, how beautiful it can be to hold emptiness. And now I will mind the time and just take a few minutes to let the nutriments of this practice wash over you. And when you're ready, start to wiggle your fingers and toes. And roll over to one side in a fetal curl, placing your hands over your heart. Tuning into your breath. And gently and slowly rise to a seated position. And let's create a vessel with our hands by our heart center. This is Padma Mudra. And notice what is in the vessel. Lao Tzu illustrates the importance of emptiness. The 30 spokes unite in one nave, but it is on the empty space that the use of the wheel depends. Clay is fashioned into vessels, but it is on their empty hollowness that their use depends. The door and windows are cut out from walls to form an apartment, but it is on the empty space within that its use depends. And slightly tip your vessel forward and let it all flow out. Empty your vessel and place your hands gently on your legs and take a deep breath. And we'll rub our hands together and generate some prana, some healing energy. Take some time to warm up your fingers and your hands. And close your eyes and cup them over your eyes. Take a deep inhale and empty. And cup your cheeks, inhaling spaciousness and exhaling, emptying. And wrap your hands around your shoulders in a loving hug. And maybe rock yourself gently. Now let your hands come down your legs, bringing the prana, the healing energy, all through your legs and down through your feet. And rub your hands together again. Cupping your eyes. And be here for a moment in the darkness. Knowing that you enter our. And now bring your hands to your heart center. May you empty to expand space for the truth that is you. And I'll close with 2 sounds of the bell. The bell is empty and yet it is full. And I bow my head now to each of you, saying Namaste. May you empty to expand space for the truth that is you.